You're listening to the Pillaging Podcast, companion podcast to PillagingJustForFun.com. That's PJ4F.com, the only Raider fan site made by Raider fans for Raider fans. Tune in each week on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher Radio. Call in and give us your takes anytime at 408-909-PJFF. Brought to you by Creative Media Design Services. Check them out at creativemediamonterey.com. Yo, it's time to pillage another podcast. I'm your host, Kenny Stapler, joined every week by my co-host, Che. Talk to me. What's good?
Man, it's been busy, man. Life's been getting in the way. I know you can say the same for yourself.
Yes, sir.
We apologize to all the pillagers out there, man. We apologize for this hiatus, right? But we're trying to do what we can, man. We're trying to get things done and get this podcast in also. So sorry for that, and hopefully you enjoy this one.
Yeah, just a big thank you to everybody for being patient out there. Everyone that's offered their support. Some of you guys already know on the blog. For those of you that don't go on the blog and listen, my mom suffered a stroke a few weeks ago, so I've been on the road a lot. I've been trying to help out with that. As you know, Che and I, summertime is very busy with us, working with the youth that we work with. I'm trying to give back to the community, and happy to say my album's done, or our album's done. Not Che and mine, but my partner Polygon. Yeah, so we got that in, and we're going to be headed towards performance and all that. But man, that's a whole nother bag. That's not what this podcast is about. This podcast is about the Raiders.
That's right.
So that's what we're going to talk about. So this first segment's entitled "There Will Be Camp."
There will be.
we are nearing the end of the doldrums of the NFL offseason, which is the June through July stretch, or arguably cold. Some of August. It's very cold.
So close.
It's very close. Right there on the horizon. So camp's on the way. Pre-camp started today. There's no news out of pre-camp. So that's it for this week's show. We want to thank you. It's like we got a little something. So on the eve of training camp, there's going to be a lot of position battles, and we're going to hit those probably week by week. We want to at least highlight one or two a week as we get through this. But going into it, we just want to look at a group of players that we think are on the bubble, and just kind of looking around at the roster, looking at other articles that have been written, and sort of extrapolated the guys we really think that are on the bubble. There's guys that have been omitted from this list. There might be bubble players. In your opinion, we've asked you to call in with those, so we'll hit those at the break, and if we need to, we'll respond after. But let's get into it. Let's look at our list. The first name on the list that we have right here is Johnny Holton. He was, I guess you would say, fifth wide receiver last year.
Yeah.
After Seth Roberts. And as you know, we've picked up a few wide receivers in this offseason.
Yes, we have.
That battle gets a little more intense each year. Wide receivers definitely a position that progresses year over year tremendously. You got guys that are 4th, 5th, 6th that will stick around on a team and hopefully maybe even work their way up to number 3. Well, Holton's a guy that's been holding strong at 5th, and now we got some competition there. So who do you see as his main competition, Che? And what do you predict for Johnny? Is he a cut? Is he a keep? Is he a practice squad? What's the fate of Johnny Holton in your eyes?
Personally, I feel like players that stick around on the team that don't necessarily progress, right? That kind of hold down that final spot. There's kind of not a whole lot of hope, right? I mean, yeah. I'm sorry to put it like that, Johnny. If you're listening, I'm sorry, but I don't have a whole lot of hope for Holton.
No, at
this point, because he has been on the team for a few years, right? Few years, right?
Yeah, I think this will be his 3rd.
Yeah, and there hasn't been a progression where you're like, oh yeah, Johnny Holton's definitely gonna be like in there for sure now.
Yeah.
And he's gotten some plays here and there, but nothing that makes you say, okay, he's for sure the guy to kind of take up that spot. And like we've talked in past episodes, there's some new guys on the team. There's some guys that have been on the practice squad that have been impressing me as well, right? So I kind of feel like if he doesn't make it happen, if he doesn't show something impressive this training camp, I think this might be his last. This might be his last hurrah, man. I think he might be out the door.
Yeah, because you're not hearing his name in the battle with Seth Roberts at all. You're hearing more Patterson.
Yeah.
And I think the guy that he's competing against is the guy you've been really bullish on is Mickens.
Mickens, man. I'm telling you that, and maybe it's just maybe I need to follow Johnny Holton on Instagram, but I like what I see out of the kid. I like what I see out of the kid, and like I said, he's a guy that spent a year on the practice squad. Got his feet wet, got his feet underneath him, and now I think the confidence is starting to show. And if you find that guy and you look at some of the film that's out there of him, he's impressive. He pops out on the screen. His quickness, and like I said, we have two studs, right? We have our 1 and 2. Patterson, he's going to be doing maybe third, fourth receiver, and then also he's going to be filling in special teams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we need one more other guy that's going to be able to break down the middle of the field and create some havoc when our guys are, kind of picking their spots, because they're not always going to go full blast. And you got this guy that wants to prove something. He's going to go out there. He's going to go full speed. And let me tell you, when you see film of this guy, there's not a play that you see that he doesn't go full speed.
He's definitely turbocharged. I think from what I've seen him from what you've showed me, he's got great hands. I'm seeing him catch some really poor balls in practice right now, or in camp, these mini camps.
Yep.
He's showing me pictures with him with first teamers, so the chemistry's there.
Right.
He's taking reps with first team. I think the last show we did, I had said that Patterson was likely to beat out Roberts for that 3 spot. But the more I look at it, the more I'm starting to realize Patterson doesn't have the hands to do that. I think the Dread Pirate holds on to that number 3. And I would like to see Mickens at number 4, if not Patterson. But if we can keep Patterson fresh and just special teams, like that's what he does, then I have a really good feeling for this wide receiver core. So right here, I tend to agree with you. I think Holton's going to be a cut or possibly practice squad, but I don't know that he makes it to the squad if we cut him, because he's got talent. But
at the same time, I mean, him personally, what is he going to be feeling personally if he's now disregarded or sent back to the practice squad? He might be one of those guys that's like, okay, well, let me go.
Yeah.
Why stick around if I can't get into the next that next receiver spot?
Right. And if I'm correct, I think he's got to clear waivers before he can hit the practice squad. So I don't think that's going to happen. Someone's going to want him for depth at the very least.
They'll take a chance, man. I mean, he's got some years under his belt, and he's been able to kind of grow with Derek Carr as his experiences come. So there's going to be a team that wants to see if maybe our receivers are just that good, and maybe he just hasn't been able to break into the limelight.
Definitely a lot of talent there. So no disrespect to you, Johnny. You're a good player. There's just too many good players in front of you. And I think you're good depth, and you're going to be a quality signing for somebody else. So next on the list right here is we got Gabe Holmes. Now that tight end position is just packed right now with some names I didn't even realize were on the roster, and maybe that's my bad, or maybe you're in the same camp. Those of you that are listening out there, but right now, I mean, the obvious top tier on our squad is going to be Cook, Walford, obviously, and then Lee Smith in there as the blocking tight end, who we saw can catch a ball or two if need be.
Yeah, he can.
So also in that tight end stable is who are we looking at here? We have a guy named Cooper Heflett, I think his name is.
Cut him.
Yeah.
Just cut him based off the name.
Reggie signed this guy, Farrell Brown.
Farrell Brown, he came out of Oregon.
I'm just going to go with that.
I believe he came out of Oregon.
846 receiving yards and 11 touchdowns in 2 seasons at Oregon. Brown suffered a serious leg injury, which is why Reggie McKenzie signed him. He loves those leg injuries. So yeah, I don't know. I think that position is just too stacked. And my take here is that he's going to be a practice squad tight end, which I think he'll take that role and run.
I think Farrell Brown will will end up down there. I think he will.
I'm saying Gabe Holmes.
You think Gabe Holmes?
Yeah, I don't think Gabe Holmes cracks this roster.
I don't think he cracks the roster, and I don't think Farrell does either. I think both of those guys end up down there. I don't know how many people they're trying to keep on the practice squad as far as tight ends go, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have our three guys. I think that's established. I don't think we're gonna go outside of that. Yeah.
These guys are just camp bodies, right? I mean, you gotta
have somebody to do the reps, man.
Yeah.
You gotta have somebody to do the reps.
So Gabe Holmes, practice squad. All right, so this is sort of a battle. So maybe this is the first battle we'll highlight because I don't really want to take either of these guys off the bubble, although I don't think that both of them are going to end up cut. So essentially it's a battle. You got Marshall Newhouse at the tackle position, and you got Austin Howard at the tackle position. I've seen these guys compared to each other a lot. A lot of people say that they're interchangeable, so why are they both on the roster? You know, we talked to Lincoln at the end of last season. He said the right tackle isn't on the roster.
Right.
But
and that was before Marshall was signed.
Yeah.
But the consensus is that he's not
Marshall,
the answer.
Yeah. Marshall
right?
Newhouse, same as the old house. My thoughts on this is that Marshall's got experience at both left and right tackle. Austin Howard's pretty much been a career right tackle.
Right.
And sort of a stopgap player at that. I mean, his glory days are obviously behind him. So if you had to pick between the two, who would you go with?
Just based off versatility, you would go with Newhouse.
Yeah.
Because we all know, like you've mentioned before, Donald Penn went down, and he's up there in age, and we're not wishing anything bad on you, Donald.
No.
We want you around.
No.
We want you healthy. We want to stick with you, right? But if for some reason something like that were to happen again, then obviously you would be sliding Kelechi out to the left, right? And then you'd have who? Is Feliciano still with us?
I think
Feliciano would probably
so.
come in at that guard again like he did last year.
Yeah.
And then you would have, but you would have some versatility in Newhouse to maybe even go to that left side if necessary, if needed. So his value is a little bit higher, I think.
Yeah, and he's 2 years younger. He's 28 to Austin Howard's 30. So, yeah, I think Newhouse makes it. But what happens to Howard? Is he just cut? Is he out?
I don't think he's cut just because of the youth that we have that hasn't shown that they're ready. And Howard started most of our games last year, man. So that's got to pay off a little bit for him. I think he's gonna be kept. I think they're both gonna be kept because depth is important in the NFL. So I think he's gonna be kept. I think Newhouse is gonna be there. I think his value is gonna be higher than Howard's. But I don't, like you said, I don't think I see either of them getting cut.
No. The only and I'm at an advantage here because I have a laptop in front of me.
Yeah, you do.
I'm staring at the internet right now, the entire internet. It's a hell of a browser I have. You should really check it out. Right now, this looks like a war room that you see in all the movies. Me and Che are sitting in front of magnanimously just very generous large screen monitors that surround the room. And there's tickers.
Looks like we're playing Battleship in this.
Yeah, and there's tickers going. There's information. There's stats just ripping off all over the place. I think I saw Wolf Blitzer earlier. We're in the war room. But I think the only thing that maybe gets Howard cut is we can save $3.6 million by cutting him. So, but then again, what's $3.6 million when you can't spend it on anything, and the free agency is pretty much dried up. So,
is there a tackle to replace him? Is there a tackle out there to replace him? Because if there's not, then what's the point, right?
Right. And
at the end of the day, what we need to do is we need to protect Carr, right? And Howard isn't the best lineman on our team, but he has experience and he's held up okay, right? On that right side.
Yeah.
Well, even though we always are like shaking our heads and yelling at the TV, like, come on, right?
Yeah.
Because he has experience, he has those years working with the squad that is there right now. I think that keeps him on the squad, man. That keeps him on the team.
Yeah, and then it gets a little bit crowded because you got David Sharp and Jalen Ware, who were both drafted this year. But it's not to say that Ware is going to make the team or that we can't hide him on a squad. So if they need it, if they're concerned about it, which they should be considering how last season ended, it would be wise to try to stash one of those guys and retain both Howard and Newhouse just for versatility and just have some bodies on that line. It just goes to show in the NFL, you can never have enough offensive linemen. It's like bullets on your gun belt. Like you're going to need them, you know? And if anything, not for injury, but just for rotation and keep it fresh because we're going to be grinding this year on the line.
Yes,
we
are.
Running that football.
Lynch.
So that's my list. I have an honorable mention that I'll bring up here. I'll just be up front. I don't think this guy gets cut just because we need pass rush, and that's James Cowser. Long-haired white boy, number 47. He's
very well spoken as well, man. I don't know if you've seen any videos of
no
conversations with that guy. Yeah, he's like an athlete nerd.
Huh.
That's how I would. No offense, dude. Don't get all upset with me, but very well spoken.
I'm like a nerd who's not an athlete, so
me too.
No, hey, shake him ball. He's posted me up several times, and it's funny to watch.
It's the shoulders, man. It has nothing to do with talent.
I make you look like the professor. You look like
I don't have no handles like the professor, man. Come on now.
That's something to be said about my defense right there. But Cowser, he's got speed. He can rush the passer. When we got Pagano now, he's going to want missiles on that team. So I think he's a rotational pass rusher. I think he sticks with us. He's not that every down outside linebacker, but I think he's got a role in this team.
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely.
And with the anemic linebacking core that we have right now, I say you keep as much as you can. Any little glimmer of talent, you're here.
Until you have something that shows that it's going to come through for you.
Yeah.
You hold on to as much as you can.
Yeah.
Right? You hold on and you...
I mean, if Ben Heaney is still on this squad, James Cowser is still on this squad.
Yeah. You know what? Keep Cowser before you... Yeah, if you're going to let go of anybody, let go of Heaney before Cowser, man.
That's what's up.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, that's it for our first segment. It's a quick one. I feel like that was quick.
It was quick.
Yeah.
It was quick.
So
to the point.
We're going to go to break. We're going to see if we got some phone calls. If they come in now, cool, we'll respond to them. If not, we'll at least plug them in later. And we'll catch you guys on the other side.
Sure.
We out here.
Peace.
You're listening to the Pillaging Podcast, companion podcast to PillagingJustForFun.com, the only Raider fan site made by Raider fans for Raider fans, featuring fan-submitted articles and the most lively Raider Nation conversation on the internet. Follow us on Twitter @PillageJustForFun. That's @PillageJust4Fun. Also, tune in every Tuesday on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher Radio.
Hey, this is Friskies. This is simple. K, all the K's. Done. Ciao.
Yo, Kenny, it's Plunk. What up? My choice for bubble cut is going to be probably a popular one, Austin Howard. So I think he's too expensive, and we may have other choices. All right, go Raiders.
And we're back. Again. In the saddle. About to do it. One more time.
One more time.
In the media industry, we call this stretching. Stretching, filling time. All right, just playing. So we're back. Raiders roundup. Just a kind of a few small notes we want to hit on. But before we get to that, we want to respond to the phone call. So first off, we got a lesson in Pig Latin from Friskies. And I'm not going to censor that. I didn't censor that because technically, well, it's Pig Latin.
It's censored. It's already censored. Thank you for censoring it, Friskies.
It was a coded message from Friskies, and in his words, that means I love you. So if you were offended, let me just give you some perspective and tell you to buck up. Second caller was Plunk for Hall of Fame. very regular caller for us. Again, call in 408-909-PJFF. It's just a phone line. You're going to leave a message. We're working on getting you guys on the air. We just really haven't had the time to coordinate that, but we do have the technology in-house to do that. So that's coming. But what Plunk was saying was regarding Austin Howard. So he feels like Austin Howard is a cut. He's a bubble cut. Speaking of bubble cuts, I had the bubble guts.
You had the bubble cuts.
I had the bubble cuts all morning. Che and I were out at a ropes course high in the redwood trees in Watsonville. And if you guys know what a ropes course is, look it up because I'm not going to sit here and explain it to you. But I was not getting in a harness with the bubble guts.
With the bubble cuts.
I was wearing khaki shorts. It would have been a bad look. But I did my thing last year, so next year I'll get up there.
There you go.
Don't eat an entire jar of peanut butter the night before you do anything active. Okay, so that's your lesson for today, folks. Don't say I never taught you anything. Peanut butter, man, that's my weakness. So Raiders roundup. Here we go. Number 1, Gary Conley still on the hot seat, still under investigation. No charges have been filed. The team and the player both still maintain his innocence. And that's where we're at right now with Conley. It's really nothing's changed.
Innocent until proven guilty, bro. That's it, right? We said it. Innocent until proven guilty. I'm sticking with it. And so is the rest of our team.
And he's not a football player until he's signed.
There you go.
Either. So he still hasn't signed his rookie contract. We'll see how long this plays out.
And maybe they're trying to get this solved. Maybe they're waiting to see what happens with this.
And that's good, right? That's good play by the Raiders.
Yeah.
That's a safe play. I mean, you took a gamble on him, but you're not going to sign him until you find out what goes on. I mean, it's a questionable move up front, but it's a classy process down the line. Mm-hmm. And they're going to wait and see. If this guy comes up guilty, he's not getting signed. Yeah. Not by this team. So, other news, again, this is old news. We had mentioned Nyron Ball on the last show, and we were kind of wondering what had been going on with him. I know a lot of you guys out there were talking about him, excited about his return, but he's not coming back. He got released, undisclosed non-football injury. It just tells me that he's still struggling with that neck.
He's not 100%. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, it wasn't his neck. Sorry, that was Edwards. But yeah, he's still struggling. He's not coming back.
It wasn't 100%. We mentioned it, right? If this guy could get healthy, he might be the answer to our issues at linebacker. But he can't. He can't, and this is a proof because I doubt that they would let him go if he was healthy. So, hope you get well, Ball. You know, I hope you get there and you're able to get back on a squad somewhere. It's been a while now, so it's a long shot, but I liked Ball. He really helped us out when we needed help covering tight ends, and he came in and he did that. Yeah. So when we released Ball, we picked up Brady Sheldon. Who is Brady Sheldon? This guy was a Division II school? Mm-hmm. Division II school. So the guy, he's an athletic freak. Al Davis would have liked this signing, signing guys based on their numbers and their size and their stature and their potential. And that's basically what Brady Sheldon is. Didn't face the fiercest competition in Division II. He came from Ferris State, which, as I understand, is where Ferris wheels were invented. And I think their leading major is Kearney Technology. So in a school full of short people with stubby fingers, Brady Sheldon stood out. Candy corn teeth aside, Brady Sheldon stood out. He's 6'5", 220 pounds. He's not a middle linebacker, but he's definitely got the stature to possibly play middle linebacker. Yeah, he's fast. So his would-be combine numbers, because he wasn't at the combine, but he had pro days. He ran a 4.5 40, which in the combine would have been second best to Jabril Peppers, who, as you know, was not going to play linebacker in this league. And this is amongst linebackers, not overall. He had a 37-inch vertical that would have tied for second at the combine amongst linebackers. His broad jump was 10 foot 5 inches, and his shuttle time, which was, I think, 4.7 or 4. No, it was like 4.47 or something like that. Don't quote me on that. But needless to say, both his broad jump and shuttle time would have been top 5 amongst linebackers at the combine. So this guy's got some tools to work with. Definitely got he's definitely has the body, the athleticism that we would look for in a linebacker. Mm-hmm. Now, is that D2 success going to transfer to the NFL? it may take a year before we find that out, right? He may have to hang out on the team, maybe even the practice squad, for us to find out whether or not he can actually play at this level. But from what I saw, he looks explosive. He gets to the ball quick. He covers well. He's got that length. He's got the speed. He's got all the tools. It's just about whether or not it's going to transfer over to the NFL, man.
54 tackles, 2.5 stuffs, 3 pass breakups. So not a pass rusher, but definitely can control the middle. And interesting project nonetheless to watch. So if anything, maybe a surprise pick that jumps up. And so keep an eye on Brady Sheldon. It'd be cool if he did get in on a blitz and sack Tom Brady. Tom Brady sacked by Brady Sheldon. I don't know. That's cool. I like that. I think that's cool.
Anybody that sacks Tom Brady, I'm all right with it, man. Sack that dude as much as possible.
So Khalil Mack signed a promotion deal. Recently, and
with Mack Trucks.
Yeah, with Mack Trucks.
You saw that? I saw that, man.
Yeah,
it's kind of dope.
Which is really cool because when we first drafted him, it was the first thing I thought. It was like Mack truck.
Yeah.
So built like a Mack truck, hits like a Mack truck.
Yep.
I haven't watched the commercial yet, but I'm going to do that when we get off the air here. But I think that's a pretty cool sponsorship.
I saw a little portion of him talking about it. And he was talking about, how when he was younger, that's what he always kind of referred to as like a tough truck, right? Mack trucks, like Mack truck, hidden like a Mack truck. So he's always kind of taken on that mindset of playing like a Mack truck, right? So now he's sponsored by Mack Trucks. This is dope, man. That's dope.
I think that what I'm waiting for is to see who comes to the stadium dressed like a Mack truck. And I know that sounds difficult to pull off.
That's gonna be difficult to get through security, man.
I mean, smokestacks and everything. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you got a couple of vapors on your shoulders.
You're looking like Optimus Prime, man.
I'm not gonna put anything past Raider Nation. Y'all are super creative. Someone's gonna come out with a Mack truck grill hanging around their neck.
That's it, on a chain.
So shout out to you, Mac. Get that money any way you can. That's cool promo. That's cool sponsorship. So if Derek Carr can get a sponsorship for all cars, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Just sponsored by cars.
Yeah.
Just period.
Every single car company.
I mean, Klay Thompson is sponsored by chocolate milk. Now, we were talking about Klay Thompson's sponsorship, a friend of mine, and he's got some funky ones, man. He's sponsored by Anta, which is a Chinese shoe company. I think, in my opinion, was maybe just a little too quick to sign that deal. Probably could have held out for like Reebok or maybe Skechers. I don't know. But Anta, that first season with Anta was real shaky. I saw him roll his ankle a couple times. So you're buying Chinese sneakers. Be wary. But then comes chocolate milk. And we're not talking Nestle's. We're not talking Yoo-Hoo. We're talking chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk.
All chocolate milk. That is quite possibly the largest sponsorship in the history of sports.
Right?
And not even
all
milk.
All encompassing, man.
All encompassing. Everybody loves chocolate milk.
Yep.
I don't really like chocolate milk.
It's all right.
But I like Quick.
I like the strawberry.
I like the strawberry milk.
Strawberry milk is good.
Now, if you can run the trifecta, Clay, and get the Neapolitan of milk and get regular milk in there, and you can get strawberry milk in there.
Milk, chocolate milk, and strawberry milk. You won, Clay. You won.
That's a Hall of Fame sponsorship deal. So I'm just saying, cars, just sponsor Derek Carr.
All cars.
All cars.
All cars.
All right, maybe we're on these mics a little too long.
Yo, but real quick. This is a hot take, right? Real quick, on behalf of Derek Carr. I don't know if you saw this, but he was recently asked how many sacks Mac would get this season.
I didn't hear this.
And Derek ran with 30.
Wow.
He said, I'm going to go with 30. And then he was asked a second time, and he's like, I'm going to go ahead and stick with 30. Like, I'm still going to go with 30. I'm not going back on that. I like that.
I like that too. Yeah,
I like that.
I like his brother recently put him on blast. Not David, but what's his other brother's name?
I don't know. He didn't play football, so it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, he's coach. He coaches the kids. I'm drawing a blank right now.
You put him on blast though.
He basically let it out that for like 15 years, Derek Carr looked in his mirror and would say, "I'm Batman." So apparently, Derek Carr's Batman.
Hey, it's all good, man. You have that mentality. It's all good.
I mean, you gotta have a set of watermelons on you to do that every morning and just tell yourself, "I'm Batman." Was it the Michael Keaton? Yeah. It had to be, right?
Right.
It was before Christian Bale.
I don't know, man.
Was it "I'm Batman" or was it "I'm Batman"? Right? That's the Bale voice.
Right. Bale's angry.
A lot of people hate on the Bale voice, but I thought it was cool. It was kind of like, I always thought, how do you not know that's Superman just because he put on a pair of glasses? You know? If you talk like Bruce Wayne and you sound like Bruce Wayne, they're going to know you're Bruce Wayne. They're going to know
you're Bruce Wayne, yeah, man.
So I always wondered why you didn't have a voice changer or something. So I don't know. Again, I digress. I like the Christian Bale Batman voice.
Yeah.
I'm in the minority. You're in the minority. But yeah. So let's move along. So kind of getting off the rails here. It's been a while. This is what happens. So our last segment of the show is I See You.
I see you.
And this is where I kind of just kind of scroll through the blog here while we're on the show, and I look for something that jumps out at us. And Che and I both agree this is definitely jump out comment.
Yeah.
And usually we focus on a response too, but there wasn't a response at the time, so we're going to give you our response. This quote comes from Big Ted 707, caller in the show, very frequent provider of content on the blog. Been on there for a long time. So his quote says, and I don't know where he is. He's somewhere on vacation. "The beer here tastes like piss, but you know what? I'm drinking it anyways. Oh, I'm in Colombia and I can't find the Whole Foods." All right, let me compose myself here, Ted, because if you're having a hard time drinking beer without a Whole Foods nearby, I have to take a really close look at your Raider Nation card. Because I enjoy a fine beer.
Oh, yeah.
But I cut my teeth on Coors Light.
Oh,
I tricked myself into thinking Henry Weinhardt's was fine in college because it came in a fancy box. Regular Budweiser is no stranger to my lips. Ted, you're going to drink what you can find, and you're going to like it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if this is a sarcastic comment because we have another blogger on there that does buy quite a bit of beer on Whole Foods, and you know who you are, and everybody that's on there on pj4f.com knows who you are. I'm not going to go there. I know you guys are waiting for me to go there. There's another time for me to go there. But Big Ted, right now, I see you.
I see you.
You're going to drink the damn beer.
Drink the beer.
And you're going to like it.
It's delicious. Doesn't matter what beer it is. It's beer. It's all good.
All we serve here is piss warm chango. My favorite. $10 if you know what movie that's from.
I don't.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I probably messed that quote up too. But Big Ted, I'm just playing with you, bro. You know we love you. Drink the damn beer.
Drink the beer, man. Don't complain. Come on, man. It's cheaper there too. Come on now.
Because I struggled through all last season's tailgates drinking Michelob Ultras because I'm trying to watch my weight.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
You didn't do that.
I didn't.
Chase slamming a second chelada right now as he's answering that question.
Number dose.
That's
it, man.
So delicious.
Delicious.
We were drinking those in Vegas a couple years back. By the time we got them back to the pool, they were tomato soup, but we still drank them.
We still drink them. We still drink.
They're still delicious.
Which proves our point, man. Drink the beer.
A 90-degree chelada in 120-degree weather is still refreshing.
Cool. That's refreshing. Super refreshing. That's it, man.
So yeah, Big Ted, shout out to you. You got the spotlight on today's show, and I know you're not a beer snob. That's why we picked on you. I know you're not. But to be fair, he lives up in the 707. That's like the Santa Rosa area, Petaluma. They got great beer up there. Yeah. So I know Ted's a little bit spoiled. He gets it fresh off the tap out there.
What's that? Russian River's up there, huh?
Russian River's up there. Lagunitas is up there. Butte County's up there. Butte County's up there. Porterville is up. No, not Porterville. Sorry. A lot of good beers up there.
Good beers up here. There's just good beers in Cali in general. So
yeah,
we're doing well over here.
We're doing good.
We're doing real good over here.
We're doing it, everybody. Come see how good we're doing. Oh man. So I mean, is there anything else you want to add to this week's show?
Oh man. You know what? I'm just glad we were able to get in here, man, and do this episode.
Yeah.
I do have a shout out to my cousin Val.
Oh.
Yeah, my cousin Val, man.
Nice.
You know, Val, shout out to you for coming up to me earlier this week and telling me, "Where's my show?
Ooh.
Where's my podcast at, man?
Wow.
What's up, man? It's been a couple weeks." So this is a podcast for you, Val. We got it done finally. So hopefully you're able to get your fill to this week, and we won't miss out next week. We'll definitely follow up.
I want to piggyback on that shout out and just say that I hid a secret for a long time. I was for a while, not anymore, but I was a huge pro wrestling fan.
Oh yeah,
and to find out that Val was too, and you too. We would have some epic discussions, the three of us. And I just want to shout out Val for bringing that back out from the inside of me. We might need to get you in here to do a pro wrestling episode one day. Yeah. that would be
Suck
pretty
a
cool.
little bit of Ultimate Warrior, man. Let's suck a little bit of a Hulk Hogan Junkyard Dog.
Little Leaping Lenny Popo. That's a deep cut right there. Also,
Superfly Jim Snuka.
I just threw the hands up. Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes. So, shout out to Val, and then a special shout out this week. I shout this guy out a lot, so I don't want this to seem lightweight this week when I do this, because he's been mentioned before. But a big shout out really to Silver and Black 666 this week. We've been in contact. He just renewed the website, so all of you guys out there that are enjoying it today, you're enjoying it because of him. He's holding it down on that end, and that's the end that counts. That's the platform. That's the foundation for us. And he's doing that despite the fact that we were quiet for basically a month. And he's been talking. He's been a great support for me this whole time, asking me what it is he can do. And so 666, shout out to you, man. Really, really, your family, dude. And I really appreciate it. And I do owe you a visit at your house. And you're not the only friend who I owe a visit to. I'm sitting across from one right now also. So
yeah, come on through.
Yeah, it really is like that for me right now. And we couldn't be doing this without you. So much love to you, 666. This week, you're the real MVP.
You are.
That's right. So that's all for this week's Pillaging Podcast. Tune in almost every week, sometimes more than every other week, on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher Radio. You can join our community at pj4f.com. Come for the podcast and the articles. Stay for the comments. It goes down in the comments section. Right now, we are at 31,785 comments since the last podcast, and that's both impressive and also on us for not getting your show up there. So big shout out to all you guys that keep coming around. Things are about to pick up as the season picks up. We're about to see some faces drop back in that haven't been around. Blog gets a little bit quiet, and much respect to all the regulars that have been holding it down, arguing about everything under the sun since the season ended. Yep. Everything not football under the sun. And I'm glad that's finally starting to simmer down. So if you haven't checked out the blog yet, come lurk on it. Come check it out. These guys are hilarious, and you might actually learn something. There's a lot of Twitter links posted, a lot of other articles posted in the comments. It's great, man. It's just a great community. And come out, come lurk around, maybe come by, join us at a tailgate. We're holding it down out there every week in the North parking lot. So
yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah,
come by, say what's up. So without all further ado, say peace. We out here. Go Raiders.
Peace.